mister. This night I want to tell you about the interesting topic in my opinion. So the topic is about one of ancient sport called boxing. Maybe you already know that what is boxing. Boxing is the sport who do by two men fight each other until who is the winner. In nowadays, boxing can win by point, can be TKO or anything else like you give up, so your opponent wins. And then, now boxing have two categories like amateur categories who was followed by student or worker and professional categories. Professional categories is followed by the person who really master it. And I want to tell you about the history about this sports. Back then, boxing was found from Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt. You can see a lot of what they do in what they draw about this sport. And then boxing is developed again in the and developed in ancient Greece. People in Greece do boxing not like they use glove in nowadays. They only use animal fur skin to protect their hand and punch the opponent. And then at the time there's no time limits until the one of them is give up.
Mention the benefits of the game.
But you know, one of the most craziest thing about this sport, craziest fact about this sport, you know, these sports have the brutal stories when the sport reached to the ancient Rome emperor, empire Roman. In the ancient empire Roman, people do that for entertain their king, their emperor. Like they saw to in like gladiator room, and then the brutal thing they use the brass knuckle in the one of the hand. So they fight within no time limits until the one of them is dead. That's so crazy thing. That's so crazy. But in nowadays, boxing is more sexier than the histories have. Like you know, you can see boxing on TV, on real life time, on live, or in stadium, you know. And boxing can be followed in every age spans. Like kids can follow, teenager can follow, adult, and anything can follow. I think that's more interesting thing about the boxing. I will tell you. I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay. It's interesting thoughts, Bara. What can you learn from boxing actually?
What can we learn from boxing? We must respect our opponent. Like you punch them, but there's no need anger in your heart. So you must be respect them. When you fight, you must be fighting without anger.
Okay. So, it's interesting that about boxing, right?
Yes.
In the future, like you said before, right? In the past, it is used to have it without rules, and then in the future, there are so many rules to avoid things to that fatal things like hurting the boxer, right? Okay, so this is the question actually. Do you think that in the future there will be no boxing which is using human as their main boxer, but they will use robot as the boxer?
Maybe it can be do that, but we cannot change the human player because that is what boxing means. We fight each other. But we can still do with the robot, but we can change it. But we can change it. Do you have any question, Mister?
But do you think that rules made to avoid the the hurts, right? The things that you make you hurts, right? So do you think that it is better to change the robot to change the human with robots?
No, I think it's not better because box, what the goals of the box is make is some like martial art. Like all martial art is train you to not be afraid to the fight. Okay, it's make you go in the fight and not run away in the fight.
Okay, so it's about adrenaline, yeah, after
Yes,
all,
it's
yeah.
about adrenaline.
Okay. It's not only about who fight who and
Yes,
who.
but what you see the fight.
Okay, so it's also about adrenaline sport, yeah. Okay. Okay. Last question, Bara.
Yes, mister.
Who is your role model?
My role model, maybe you mean public figure?
Yes.
Of course, in Indonesian we have Elias Pical and Michael Roberts. In abroad, I have Dimitri Beitel and Akrobater Beef. And in the back there, the greatest of all time is Muhammad Ali and Abdul Malik Aziz, or we call Mike Tyson. I think that's all, mister.
Okay. Thank you for the nice conversation, Bara. Thank you.
Thank you too for
Conversation.